Hello again everyone, and welcome to another tutorial on how to draw wild animals. Before we start, of course, as ever, if you could subscribe, that would be fabulous. Thank you very much. And also, ring that little bell icon. I'll give it another wee harder ring here. That's better. Ring the bell icon if you want to know what's coming up next, okay? Right, okay, well the wild animal today is a zebra. And I'm going to start with the head. The animal is slightly smaller than a full-size horse and has a slightly rounder kind of shape to it. Its head, for instance, is not as angular. That's its forehead there. And the dip down to where the eye would be, like kind of in here, it's a kind of diamond shape that appears like there. Okay. That dip is the forehead. The front of the nose, if you like, comes down and more of a slope of a curve like that. And there's a more gentle kind of curve that you may find in a horse at the front there. And the mouth comes in here. And then the chin would appear like that. And then the underside again is more gradual slope than that of a horse. The nose, by the way, comes in about there. Okay? And the ear at this point, you'll see his left ear coming in and the kind of front of it and the back appearing in there. Now the actual slope of the neck, slightly shorter than that of a horse, comes down, not much in it, you know, but comes down at that kind of slope there. And underneath the head shape, you get the bottom of the neck coming in down towards the chest. You get that kind of shape there. And then it suddenly kind of drops down to the chest shape there, like that. And that's where the front legs start, just here, okay? So what we've got is this leg coming in. I have this one sloping back actually down to the knee, and we can have elbow shape there, down to, that's right, down to there, which then starts to curve back that way towards the hoof. You get that kind of bump coming out there, and another one there, and then this almost triangular hoof shape coming in like that. The other leg would appear just behind it here, with the kind of knee shape there. And its hoof appearing, and the other part of its leg actually probably is a bit more there. Just rub that wee bit out first of all. There we are. Comes out to there. And the other part of the leg comes in like that. Okay, I'll clean that up later. Okay, the back of the zebra now comes in a long, slow curve up to the haunches at the back here, and then kind of dips down fairly sharply down to the round part of the back end here. Okay, before I continue with that, let's put the mane in. Now, unlike a horse, the mane stands up. That's a real kind of punk look about it. You know, comes in like that, and kind of ruffled end to it. Getting nearer the back of the horse like that. And I'll put in the stripes later, but they continue. For instance, the stripes which come over the neck kind of continue into the mane. Okay, so that's the shape starting there. The tail comes in about here. You see that part, and then the hair begins like that. Whereas a horse's tail almost appears as if there's hair right away. You get this kind of tail shape first, and then you get the hair appearing, come down like that, okay? Now, the underside of the horse from here is more of a curve than that. That's a shallow curve, there's more deep curve there, like that, okay? And the haunches appear coming in about there, quite broad at the top, narrowing down to a kind of knee shape here, almost like an elbow shape if you look like that, you know, coming forward. Again, down to this kind of bump at the bottom and out towards the kind of triangular shape of the hoof, and the other leg will appear coming out like that, behind it, and down to the bump again, another wee bump, and the triangular hoof shape. like that. Okay, now of course what characterises the zebra are the stripes, and basically they follow the shape of the animal. For instance, around the nose here, you get this kind of dark shape coming around, curving around like that, and on the forehead you get lines coming down from the ear towards the eye, like that, parallel lines which stop just above the eye. Another one coming in here, and then they kind of follow that shape of the front of the head down like that, and as you come around here, the shapes curve around the side of the head like that, and can always join up with a kind of dark muzzle shape there, like that. And the one under the eye, which follows the shape of the eye, comes up like that. And then these other ones come up and not quite join onto that one. And then they start to go around the head this way. And we're always following the shape of the animal's body, like that. And on the neck, of course, neck's curved that way. So that's what the stripes do. First of all, they're more or less straight, and then as they come round like that, they follow the curve a lot more. Like that, and a gap coming in there, and another one coming in there. And sometimes what you get is, well, very commonly you get a kind of Y shape. You get that coming down, then going back up again. So you get that kind of curving Y shape, see that? Coming around there, and another one coming in here. It's coming down around the chest of the animal. And another one here. As long as you do the stripes, I mean, you know, there's so many varied combinations of stripes to put in. You can kind of make them up yourself, as long as you follow, as I say, the curves of the animal itself. Like at the top here, you get a kind of almost like a wishbone shape coming up like that. And the stripes starting to go across the leg. As they go down, they go across like that. And on the body, of course, they'll start with a curve at the top, and then start to curve around the body like that. Another one here. Because as they get to the bottom, they start to curve around the kind of belly shape there. See that? Curving around there, and come up and curving around the top. And then we'll have another bit of stripe here, which not only breaks into a Y shape, but breaks into like almost like the tributary of a river, you know, coming out like that. These wee rivulets, if you like, coming out from that and joining it, then coming down underneath. And the other stripes, of course, just carry on like that. And as they go around the haunch, they go this way and then across the legs. So I want to do that, and I'll catch up with you when I've done it. Okay, as you can see, I've drawn in the stripes on the back of the animal here and also on the legs. Now move up to the mane, and as I said, the stripes here kind of continue into the mane. So for instance, that one there would continue, but go back at a slope like that. This one here would come up, like that, and that one there, like that. Okay, so as long as you put your stripes coming back the way, continuing from the ones on the neck, you'll get the idea of the zebra itself. Okay, there's one there, and another one there. Okay, now I'm going to use the pen to outline all of that, and just go over your lines like that. If you're doing the back of the mane, by the way, use a kind of wee wiggly line like that. Suggests the hairs at the end of the mane coming around like that. Okay, but otherwise you can use a fairly smooth line coming down like that. Now I'm indicating the mouth, but when I shade that in, it'll be black. I leave a little bit of white. So for instance, I'll draw a wee kind of a line like that, that's white. And around the nose as well, which will be black, but I would leave a kind of white line around it so that you can see it, right? And it comes around there. And of course, the triangular shape of the eye. And all I'm going to do is just continue and to draw in the shapes of the stripes, like that. And most of them are double shapes, like that. Okay? A couple of wee shapes on the ear there. But I'm just going to continue to do that. And let's see what it looks like when I've done it. Okay, I've drawn around all of the black lines now, and all that remains is to fill in the appropriate ones. Okay, so we'll start at the front here and make that little tuft black, and one with the hind ear as well. And you can also just indicate the kind of brush shape of the mane by putting a few lines in like that. And also when you're shading in the hairs on the mane, you could use your pen in the direction of the hair and leave a couple of white lines as well to suggest the kind of the hair in the mane itself, okay? Like that. But when you're drawing in the stripes here, you can just fill them in fairly solidly, like that. Now obviously it's going to look very graphic, very striking and bold, this image. And of course when it's done and I've filled in all the black shapes, I'll go over it lightly with a rubber and take out all the kind of pencil lines. As I said, down at the front here, I've drawn a wee white line around the nose just to give you an indication of where it is, and also around the mouth. So you get that wee bit of white there to show you in the black shape where the nose is. Just like that, okay? And with the mouth too, it's the faintest of suggestions. Like that, okay? So I'm just going to continue to do this. Fill it all in. It'll take me a few minutes, and let's see what it looks like when I've done all that. Right, I'm just finishing off the black bits now, a few wee stripes in the top part of the tail, and then the rest of the tail is fairly dark, so we just kind of sketch it in, following the lines of the hair of the tail, like that. Okay, quite lightly. And I've also cleaned it up a bit with a rubber, taken most of the pencil lines away, so it's a little more tidy. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you can join me again for another tutorial very soon. But in the meantime, of course, all the best, and happy drawing.